Designer?
Well, I think these type of jobs, they find us, right? Or like it's our mission somehow. Or I think, but my first dream was to be a ballerina when I was 3, and my mom thought I'm gonna break all my body. So then I was a good drawer. So after a couple of years, I started to fashion design,
Oh my goodness.
and it just appeared to me that I took a paper doll and I put a piece of paper over and I made my first fashion drawing at 9. And I had this illumination. I saw my whole life, in front of me. And I thought, I'm going to be a fashion designer. So from 9 years old, but then I didn't go to school into fashion. I went to school in computer sciences because my parents thought that I would waste my life being into fashion and that I would become very poor. So they would rather me study something, But I quit computers and I just started, so I'm self-taught in costume designing. So the advice I could give is that, of course, when we enter a creative path, it's being a bit like the unknown. It's not something we can really plan as we could plan a career in another field. Therefore, we have to be extremely flexible and also so passionate that that will balance out all the difficulties along the way, because it's going to be full of traps. It's like a jungle. Like you don't know, because it's more random. It's a more random career where you have to be willing to invest a lot of energy, a lot of time, hours, weekends, nighttime, and be poor maybe for a long time. So are you passionate enough to go beyond these difficulties? Because it's not going to be easy. It would be really not being honest to say that it's an easy path. But when you're passionate about something, then it just gives you all the stamina and the endorphin to go through all these rough times.
I think there's a lot of
But for sure, for me, the fact that I build on the mannequin, I prototype on the mannequin right away, makes me understand the body, like how the design is going to be all around when the person turns, in the back and the side. And so I think to have a basic talent in design, in clothing, and in understanding the body. But I would say the attitude. Like we talk about that often in any job interviewer, the attitude makes a difference. If you're willing to learn and you're willing to give everything you got, you're probably going to succeed more than somebody that has more talent and less of a good attitude. Because I've seen little girls come in our shop, like we hired them. They had like doing volunteer work or a stage from their school, and they were not so talented. I mean, they would say, meh, their drawings or their ideas, but the attitude they had, I mean, they blew me away, and they've had great career. Not all of them in design. Some became tailors, but for sure they're still working in the field. They're working at Cirque du Soleil because they were impeccable. They were willing to give all their energy to what they were doing, focusing and being really good helpers in the process. I think, I'm going to say something that you may find strange, but coming from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, we don't have the same relation with this story as you in the States, or you people from Kansas City. Like you're completely, it's part of your story, of your culture. So I've never had this connection so close for the imagery or the story itself. Not that I didn't like it. It's just, I have an arm distance. I'm more objective, let's say. So, but as a designer, that is one factor. But also as a designer, often we're into evocation. We're not into imitation most of the time, because all these stories have been done over and over again. What do we want to feel? Like I was talking about the Munchkins. What do we want to feel? We want them to be cute and be humoristic. And so what does that translate into a design to be humoristic? Colorful, round, graphic, So it's like the translation. pick up the words like the Emerald People. They had to be elegantly glamorous and very sharp edge because of these quartz, these green quartz, you know. So right there, the design is obvious, you know. Like it's more like what are these words that each group of costume, whatever story we're doing in